Boniferro, and today Ashton Young. How are you guys today?
I'm doing good. How about you, Jay?
Good, good. Ashton, I think you have a question for Tony
I'm
before
good.
we even get into the props.
I'm
I
good
do.
too.
How do you how do you feel about the Matt Stafford Jared Goff trade as a Lions fan, from the Lions
All right.
perspective?
So from a Lions fan perspective, I think it's a home run. The Los Angeles Rams instantly become my second favorite team. Anyone who's ever watched Stafford play, they know how good he is and how underrated he is. But I do. I love it. I think Goff, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Is he a capable guy? Sure. I guess I'm kind of hoping for best case scenario, a Ryan Tannehill situation here where he comes to a different team and kind of restarts his career in a run heavy offense. So I don't mind it. And obviously, my only issue with the two first round picks, the only issue I have is one of them isn't this year. And both of those first round picks are likely to be in the 20 to 25 to 30 range, so how much value is there? I don't know. But that being said, I don't know. It's good. It's good draft. It's good draft capital. A part of me kind of wishes that they take all their picks and throw a Hail Mary and try and get Trevor Lawrence. But we'll see.
I like Goff in Detroit. Like, I think Hawkinson might be able to feast on it too, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't really like, outside of Galladay too. I'm not a huge fan of the Lions receivers, and Goff with his want to run heavy, control the ball offense where he doesn't like to take deep shots. It could help them, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a prediction right now. Marvin Jones signs with the LA Rams, and Marvin Jones becomes a top 20 wide receiver in the NFL next year. That's a prediction for you. All right, let's get into this.
You can talk all night about your Lions there, right, Tony?
Damn right.
So first one's first, and we'll decide. You guys can decide first. How long will it take to sing the national anthem next Sunday?
Go ahead, Ash.
I think that the time's been set at 2 minutes, I believe, and I'm 90% sure too that it always comes under 2 minutes. It's like right around a minute 40, minute 47. So I'd take the under all the time in the anthem.
Yeah, so the people singing the anthem are Jasmine Sullivan and Eric Church, country singer. Jasmine Sullivan has sang the national anthem previously, and I've watched her perform, and they've come in just a shade under 2 minutes. There's only been one national anthem in the last, I think it's 5 Super Bowls that's gone over, and it was Alicia Keys, and she was at 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Eric Church, though, very calm, mellow player, slow. I'm actually gonna go outside the box on this, and I'm actually gonna go over. Ashton, I think normally you're right. It is usually around a minute 55, minute 57, but I'm going to go over just based on Eric Church and listening to Jasmine perform before.
You're right. I don't listen to country. Fair enough. Yeah.
So next one we were talking about is, what will the result of the coin toss be? Tony, you go first.
So the coin toss. You think it's, this would be pretty lucky. You could go either way. However, tails has been in the winning coin toss the last 2 and 6 of the last 7. It's been tails. There's an old softball saying, I don't know if I should say it on here, but
that is
something in the morning, tails at night, right? So it's the Super Bowl's a night game. I like tails. I do. I got to go tails on this one.
I like tails too, but just to be opposite, I'll take heads. I like heads.
Now who? If you get Tony, you said tails. Yeah. Well, what would you choose if you you won the toss?
In this game, normally I'm a defer guy. I usually defer. However, in the Super Bowl, I might actually take the ball with both of these teams because I think you're going to want to play from being in front in this game.
And Ashton,
I like defer still. You get that first stop, it's huge, right? It's tough to stop Kansas City. If you're Tampa Bay and you win the toss, you defer and you get that stop right away, right? Could be an early advantage if you score.
True. Now this one here, Ashton. What will be the first play of the game? Run or pass?
I'm I like run. If Tom Brady, of playing in his 10th Super Bowl, is going to be relaxed. A lot of guys on his team, right, are playing in their first Super Bowl or something like. So I mean, if they get the ball, run it, get everyone settled, get your offensive line settled into the game early, run the ball. I like run.
Tony?
Run in particular, if you want to attack. I like power.
Yeah, 12 of the last 15 Super Bowls, the first play of the game has been been a run. So, teams, you like to come out, run the ball, calm everybody down. It is the Super Bowl. However, in this game, I am expecting fireworks, but I will go with Ash on this. I agree. I think it's going to be a run first play of the game.
Now, out of the last 12 Super Bowls, how many have Brady been in?
Only 10.
So we'll have to see what happens there, right? Now, Ashton, this one here, like I say, Tampa Bay question for the fans: Will Brady's first pass be complete or incomplete?
It'll be a short completion, like a swing or even a hook from Gronk. I like the short pass. Get him in his rhythm early.
Tony?
So Brady has completed his first pass in 3 of his last 4 games, and in the last 2 games he's done that. Sorry, I was prepping for the show, so I got a bunch of notes here to help us. But yeah, so I think Brady completes his first pass, especially, I did pick run first play, but can you imagine the Super Bowl starting off with Tom Brady play action pass, deep to Mike Evans or something, or Scotty Miller? That would be a way to start a Super Bowl. So I'm going to go with a completed pass as well.
Now, on the other side there, Ashton, Mahomes, will he pass or incomplete or complete? Go ahead, Ashton.
Right, complete too. I think it's going to be a high-scoring Super Bowl. Whether it touches the over or not, it's a lot of points. But I like the completion too. I think it's going to be a lot of offense, a lot of long drives.
Bono?
I'm going to go incomplete for Mahomes' first pass. I think Mahomes was there last year. He knows what to expect. He knows what's happening. But Kansas City hasn't necessarily been off to a slow start recently. But if you look at their past few games, teams have been playing them different, right? Teams have been playing a cover 3 almost, and that's why Kelsey's been scoring or been averaging 10 catches the last few weeks. So I'm actually going to say incomplete pass, because I think Tampa Bay is going to come out with something a little different defensively, something that Mahomes maybe hasn't seen yet this season, and it might take him a series or two to get on track.
And now, to that note, Bono, which team will score first?
I think the Bucs are going to score first, just based on what I've seen in the past. I think Tom Brady. I don't think the Bucs are going to win the game. I really don't. There's a little spoiler alert, I guess, but I think that the Bucs are going to come out, and I think Tampa Bay is going to be just ready to. And I think Brady's going to want to put some pressure on them. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay to score first.
And Ashton, yours?
I like the Bucs to score first as well. I sort of the same not that Kansas City's been extremely slow starting, but they've started slow enough in the last couple games that I'm like, I like Tampa Bay to score first as well.
Now, going to be a long drive or short drive on that one, Ashton?
If my guess would be I bet it's 6. My guess would be a field goal as well. I don't think they're going to score a touchdown on the first drive, but I'm thinking like a 6, 7, 8 play drive that gets stalled and they kick a 42-yard field goal.
And Tony, yours?
Yeah, I agree with Ashton, actually, which is rare. Coming from an Ohio State fan, they don't usually know too much about football. So
yeah, I say that.
Yeah.
So you field goal, how far of a field goal there, Tony?
Yeah, I'll say about 35, 37 yards.
35?
I like 42.
42. Now this one here, which team will commit the first penalty And what penalty do you think it's going to be? Go ahead, Tony.
Both of these teams were pretty disciplined this season for the most part. I do think that Tampa Bay is going to have the higher emotion going into this game. I think their emotion is going to be higher for a variety of reasons. A lot of these guys, it's their first time playing in a Super Bowl. I just think their emotions are going to be higher. And when your emotions are running too high, you're prone to make more mistakes. So I'm going to say Tampa Bay commits the first penalty.
And Ashton, your thoughts?
I agree, actually, but you asked what kind of penalty was going to be too, right? Like what penalty was going to be?
He has a short attention span, though. Remember that, Ashton.
Okay. So, anyways, it depends because I feel like the refs these playoffs have let a lot of teams play in the secondary quite a bit, and a lot of the holding calls are down. Right? Are they going to tighten that up in the Super Bowl? If they tighten it up, I like defensive holding on the secondary on Tampa Bay because they're pretty handsy in the secondary, right? They're pretty aggressive there. So I kind of like defensive holding on Tampa Bay as the first penalty.
And Tony,
and I'll say a encroachment. I say Brady draws them offside.
Kansas City.
Or sorry, I say Mahomes draws them offside. Sorry, Mahomes draws them offside. Yeah.
Now, before we go to the next question, does anybody understand what Tim Zeppa's saying here and when he says Mr. Fowler?
I can't see it.
All Tim Zeppa says is Mr. Fowler. Does that mean anything to you guys?
I think he's calling for Mike.
So we'll have to maybe he'll put another comment back and we'll see on that one. Now, Ashton, what will the jersey number be, even or odd, to score the first the first touchdown of the game?
Odd. It'll be 87.
Odd. And you're being quite like you say 87. You're being quite you're determined on that one.
Maybe, but I think it's gonna be an odd number. Mike Evans or Kelsey.
And Tony.
Yeah, I agree with Ashton. I looked into this quite a bit. I mean, other than if you think Tyreek Hill or Sammy Watkins, who hasn't done much this year, but outside of Tyreek Hill, that's pretty much it. Number. Yeah, I mean, Williams, Edwards, Hilaire, they're both evens.
Fournette's a 28.
That's right. Yeah. So for Tampa Bay, Ronald Jones is 27. And you got Gronk 87. So, yeah, I definitely would go even as well. Or sorry, I would go odd as well. Odd as well. Sorry, I definitely think it's going to be, yeah.
Now, Ashton, is he usually this confused when he's as a coach on the sidelines too?
Absolutely.
More so. More so.
Which team will call the first time out, and what do you think why? Ashton, go ahead.
I like Kansas City with Tampa Bay maybe trying to hide their coverage, and he just takes it a little extra long pre-snap, and they have to call the timeout maybe midway through the first.
And yours, Tony?
I completely agree. Patrick Mahomes tends to use a timeout often early in games if you watch a lot of Kansas City games. So, and he calls it based on, just exactly what Ashton said. So I agree. I think Kansas City calls the first timeout of the game.
Now,
Mike Pigeon says illegal procedure.
It's not a bad one either, but with no crowd, it's a little tough. I found there's been a lot less false starts, I guess, in the NFL this year because there's been no crowds, right?
Sure.
So, you've been able to just, hold your...
But, Ashton, to that point, you're seeing a lot more defenders jump because it's louder with the quarterback. So that's why, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't like the illegal procedure, but I get it. You could be hyped up looking overzealous on a block, but...
Sure.
Now, next one we have is how many yards will the game's longest touchdown be? Under 47.5 or over 47.5?
You can start, Bono.
I think everybody is going to be taking the over on this, myself included. In games this season, you got Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's averaged over 100 yards a game the last 3 games. You got a big play threat like that. The guy that I love is Hardman, though, the wide receiver for Kansas City. He reminds me a lot of Marquez Valdez-Scantling from Green Bay. The guy is just a big play machine waiting to happen. He's not going to make short catches. So if he gets into the game, it's going to be because of a deep touchdown. So, Tampa Bay has a few less threats. Scotty Miller's really come on the last few weeks, who's a deep threat for Tampa. So again, I do think this is going to be an over.
And Ashton?
I like the over too, but right at around 47. I don't like any much longer than 50, but I like the over two. Tom Brady this year's taken more deep shots than he has in the last decade. He goes deep now 5-6 times a game. When was the last time you seen him do that in New England? Like, I like he's taking deep shots looking for single coverage. And so I mean, I like the over.
As a matter of fact, this is a Bonifero guarantee.
That's a Bonifero guarantee.
That's right. That's how confident I am in that. I put the guarantee on it.
Now, if you were putting money on it, how much would be, would it be a guarantee?
I'm not going to tell people what to bet on it, but they can do whatever they want.
Quite confident there, eh, Ashton?
I guess it makes me want to bet the under now, though.
Yeah.
Now, Tony, which team will record the team's first sack, and who do you think it's going to be making the sack?
Okay, I think I had a note on right here. I had a note on this one too. So the conventional wisdom is you're going to say that
more wisdom from Bono.
Yeah. Well, the conventional wisdom would say that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to get the sack. Eric Fisher's out. Both of their tackles are out for this game. Patrick Mahomes, he likes to throw. Kansas City likes to pass. The only thing is I'm actually going to take Kansas City this time. I'm going to take the Chiefs to bring down Brady first. And the reason being is even though Kansas City is suffering from two major injuries at the tackle position, Patrick Mahomes has only been sacked once, I believe, in this postseason. He's been sacked just once this postseason, and Tom Brady's been sacked 5 times so far this year in the postseason. So based on those stats alone, I really do think the Chiefs get the first sack, and that stat actually is paying out plus 115. So that's a pretty good bet if you want to make some money. I really like that one.
And Ashton?
I agree. I like just less mobile. Patrick Mahomes creates, right? Like the Cleveland pass rush was really good, and they didn't really get to him, right? He escaped everything. So I like Kansas City getting the first sack of the game as well. But I do think Mahomes is going to be pressured quite a bit coming off the edge, much like the way Aaron Rodgers was that whole game.
Now, next one, Ashton, I'll let you answer this one first, is how many yards will the game's longest field goal be? Under 47.5 or over 47.5?
I like the under because it's outside. I know it's Tampa Bay and the weather's it's nice, but I like the under. I think it's going to be right around 42 to 44.
42 to 44. And Tony?
This is another Bonifero guarantee. The longest field goal will be under 47.5 yards. We have 2 great kickers in this game, Butker and Suckup, no question. Butker, 25 of 27, 92%. Suckup, 28 for 31, 90%. But the key is Butker's stats from field goals between 40 and 49 yards this year. He's only 3 for 5. And yeah, he's 4 for 4 on field goals over 50 yards. But the weather conditions in Tampa, it's going to be a little bit windy. It's going to be a nice day, but it's not going to be hiking conditions. Suckup, he only has 1 field goal over 50 yards this year. He's 1 for 2. I agree with Ashton. I think this is going to be and I would take this one hard.
The other thing I like about it too is both coaches are ultra aggressive in their play calling. So if you see the 4th and 2 from the 39, 36, you might see them go for it. You know what I mean?
Great point.
In that range to get close with that aggression. Because if you think a field goal is not going to win you the game and you need to score the touchdowns, those might be 4th down opportunities that you snatch a possession from, right? So that's why I like any field goal. I feel like any field goal that's going to happen, it's going to be drives installed that stall inside the red zone or just outside the red zone. I feel like anything from say from the 35 to the 42 and you're 4th and 1, 4th and 2, you're probably just going to go for it for most of the game.
It's a great point. Yeah, I completely agree. That is, I love the kicking prop bets weekly, and I really like them for the Super Bowl here. So,
Sorry about that, guys. Need a drink. Tony, next one. Will there be an onside kick attempt in this game?
So I'm going to say yes, and the reason is because I see this game. I see it finishing close, but I do think in the fourth quarter you're going to see one of these teams up by 14 to 17 points in the fourth. I really do. I just have confidence in both quarterbacks' abilities to come back. So I'm going to say that yes, there is, and I believe the odds on that are pretty good too.
And Ashton, your thoughts?
I like the no. I don't think there's going to be an onside. You don't want to give one of these quarterbacks a short. You thought like to me like fourth quarter ones. Like if it comes down to like a one possession game late, yeah, there's going to be an onside, I guess. But I mean, I don't think a coach is. It's funny because I talked about stealing a possession with the field goals. I don't think someone's going to try and steal a possession especially with the new onside rules with the no run up. Then like, what is the conversion rate now? Like 6%. So like, you don't want to give Mahomes or Brady a short field to work with there. It just feels like death. So I don't like the onside attempt.
I just think you're gonna see it in the fourth quarter. I really do.
Yeah, that which could happen. But I mean, if Kansas City jumps out to a big lead, it's just close.
Yeah.
I just don't think there'll be one.
Now, Ashton, how many total field goals will be made in the game? Under 3.5 or over?
I like the under.
Under?
I think there'll be less than 4. 3 might be the number, so I like the under for 3 field goals. Both these teams I'm pretty sure they're pretty deadly in the red zone. So.
And Tony?
Now, this is a tough bet. I've looked at, again, I have all sorts of kicking stats here that I could recite to you guys about this. And they got the number right on. 3.5 is the perfect number. I think there's going to be, I don't know. Like I really do. There could be 3 or 4 field goals. I'm totally torn. I think if I'm going to have a guess in this game, I would agree with Ashton that it would be under. Both of these, you're not going to make Tom Brady nervous, so he's going to be fine. You're not going to make Patrick Mahomes nervous, so he's going to be fine. Nerves aren't going to be a factor for these quarterbacks. So I would agree with Ashton and go under.
And with that being said, like I said, with the potential going for it on fourth downs,
yeah,
like you know what I mean. It's going to take away field goal. I think it's going to take away field goal opportunities. So I like if you feel safe too, you could probably. And like with a lot of the betting, if it bets one way or the other, right, it might move that line later in the week if you bet later in the week. But if you can buy a field goal too on the website, buying one and going at 4.5 might not be a bad choice either.
Yeah.
Now, next one I have here, guys, is how many passing yards will Brady throw for in the game? Go ahead, Ashton.
I think he's going to throw for about 367, which I believe puts him on the over by quite a bit. But I think they're both going to go over in their passing totals. I'm going to go about 367.
And Bono?
I was ready for this question, and I can't find my note on it. Tom Brady will throw for
same excuses he used in school, right, Ashton?
Exactly.
I couldn't tell you.
This is going to be another Bonifero guarantee. Tom Brady throws for over 280 yards. In the last 5 Super Bowls, I believe it is. Again, I lost my note on this, but in the last 5 Super Bowls, Tom Brady has only thrown for under that number once. And it was in the last Super Bowl he played in, where he threw for 267 yards still in a 13-3 game, you know. But Brady in Super Bowls, 4 of the last 5 have thrown more than that, more than 280 yards. So I agree with Ashton. This is an over.
This is over. Now, Ashton picked 367, and yours?
Yeah, I'll say Brady throws for 350 yards.
350. Now, next one, we're on the other side. Mahomes, what's he over, under 324 and a half, or over 324 and a half? Bono, go ahead.
Another real good number, really good number. I'm going to say he throws for under 324. Variety of reasons there. I know that might be a little unconventional. Most people think he's going to go for more. I do think that Kansas City is going to need to rely on their run game a little bit. Now, Tampa Bay's run defense has been the best in the league, I believe, all based on a few different stats. They've only allowed 1 rushing touchdown in those 4 weeks or something like that. So I do think it's going to be important, though, for Kansas City to try and establish the run. Also, that being said, if you've watched the last few games too, Ashton and I talked about this a little bit. The reason why Travis Kelce is getting 10, 15 catches is because they're all running these short routes, right? Teams are trying to take away the deep ball from Kansas City and especially Tyreek Hill. So I think he's going to have a lot of completions. I just don't know if the yards are going to be there.
And now, if you were to call it, Tony, how many yards do you think he's going to throw?
I think he throws for 295.
295. Ashton, close, or is he far off?
You want my first lock of the day is Patrick Mahomes goes over. Because all it's gonna take it's gonna take one McCole Hardman break, one Tyreek Hill on a slant, and the safety misses, and all of a sudden you're sitting at 250. Like, so I like the over, and I think he's gonna throw for over 400.
Over 400. That's quite a big difference there, Bono.
Well, again, he's an Ohio State fan. We can expect that.
Now here, will either team score in the first 5 minutes of the game? Yes or no? Go ahead, Ashton.
No, I don't think so. Like I said, I think that first drive, like if it's Tampa Bay, it's going to be 6-7 plays that to possibly a field goal. I don't like either team scoring in the first 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes go so fast. It's like 3 run plays and a punt, and you're basically at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. So,
and Bono?
Yeah, Ashton's completely right. That being said, again, I don't disagree with anything Ashton just said, but I'm going to take the other side. I'm going to say yes. And the only reason being is I like the odd. The last time I saw the odd on that, it was something like 2.2, plus 2.2 for the yes. And with these guys and these big play teams, again, I don't think Nurse is going to be a factor necessarily. So, I think they're going to want to make a statement early. So I'm just going to take the other side and I'll say yes.
Okay. Now, again, talking about scoring, this one here, how many total touchdowns will there be in a game? Under 6.5 or over? Tony, go ahead.
I'm going to go. This is a tough one. I've been struggling with this one too. You look at the number 6.5 and think that's going to be an over, but that's a lot. That being said, I don't know. I've been going back and forth on this one all day. I really have. So my final opinion is I'm going to say under.
Under, so we're going to have a low-scoring game then.
I think you're going to see 6 touchdowns. I really do. I think you're going to see 4 by Kansas City, and I think Tampa's going to score 2. But I did write that down earlier too. That was part of what I had. So
just to let you guys know, I'm recording all these, so when we do the recap show, I can prove who's wrong and who's right, eh?
Perfect.
So, go ahead, Ashton.
I like the over. I don't think I think the score going to be under in the total. I think the total is going to be under because it's like what 57.5. I like the 7-8 touchdown mark. Puts it like if they both get 4, right? It's gonna put it at 28-28. So I mean, I like the over in the touchdowns, but it's a close number, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, next one we have here: which team will score last, Tampa or Kansas City? Go ahead, Ashton.
I think Tampa Bay is gonna score last, trying to catch up. I think I like Kansas City to be up big, probably midway through the second half, and I think Tampa Bay is going to score last, trying to catch up.
And Bono?
I completely agree with Ashton. I think Tampa Bay scores last. I think Tampa Bay scores last for 2 different reasons. The one that Ashton says, which I agree with, but I also see a scenario where this is a close game and, Tampa scores a touchdown with 2.5 minutes left in the game, to take a 4-point lead and win the game. I see that scenario as well. So for both of those reasons, I like Tampa as well.
And like I say, the big and final question before we get to a few special ones is, Bono will go first. Which team's going to win the game?
Well, it's been no secret who I think is going to win. I took the Chiefs before the playoffs started. I actually took the Bucs and the Chiefs to make the Super Bowl. So I took the Chiefs to win. I think the Chiefs win by. I do think they win by double digits. I think the Chiefs win by 10. That's my prediction. But I would not be surprised, and I would not be disappointed either to see Brady come back and win this. This is one of those rare Super Bowls, Ashton, and I know you probably feel a little different. I genuinely don't really care who wins. I'm good either way. I mean, I respect Tom Brady's greatness. I can't stand Bruce Arians as a coach, but I do. I respect what Tom Brady has done at 43 years old. I'd love to see him win. Absolutely love it. That being said, how do you root against Patrick Mahomes? How do you root against Andy Reid? I'm happy to see them win. I'm torn. So I do think Kansas City wins by 10, but I'd be okay if it finished the other way too.
I think the Chiefs are going to win probably 35-21. Keep it on the under, right around there. Maybe 30-21, like 31-21, like right around in that area. I'm an Andy Reid fan. I think he's probably the most. He's not maybe necessarily underrated anymore, but for how long it was like the guy never won a Super Bowl. Now he's won one. Probably gonna win his second one next week. And I like it. I really don't want Brady to get his 7th ring. I'm not a Brady guy. I've told people I've always thought Brady's overrated. He's not better than Manning. He's been coached better. He's been coached better. He's been coached better with better organizations. But I don't think Brady's better than Manning, so I don't really want to see him get the 7th ring.
He's breaking Monaco's heart, isn't he there, Bono?
He is. But
breaking a lot of Patriot fans' hearts. So.
But my argument to that really quick, Ashton, is
Cam Newton didn't take that team to the playoffs, so I get it. I understand. I'm not saying he's not great. Four of those Super Bowls have been rules, right? Like, not rules, but like 4 of those Super Bowls have just how many Super Bowls has he just won clean? And then the 2 that like he could have won just one clean, he's lost both of them to Eli, right? Okay. I feel like
but there's a counter to those arguments. You can easily say the other thing is he should have won that David Tyree catch. I'll still argue this wasn't a catch because the ball hit the turf, and in that season every other catch that was like that was not a catch. So that still wasn't. And
he shouldn't have won the Atlanta one. The Atlanta one, that was I can't even think of the coach. So I hate the coach. The coach cost him a game. All they got to do is run the ball 3 times, kick a field goal, and Tom Brady doesn't win a Super Bowl. Like it's those circumstances of what have always upset me with Brady.
That's fair, but Ashton. So and again, if we had this argument or we had this debate a year ago, yeah, I would agree with you. What Tom Brady did this year and what Bill Belichick couldn't do this year speaks to how great I think Brady is. I really do. I think that speaks to his greatness. So
I do agree. I agree. I agree. He's great. It's not what I'm saying. I just
no. I know what you mean.
I've never been the guy that's hyped him like that. I never thought it.
No, we have
Oh, that's
we have
fair.
He's also a Michigan quarterback, which doesn't sit right with me as well, right?
That's right.
we have another comment here from Mike Pigeon. It says Malcolm Butler haunts me. Anybody want to respond to that?
Tell him to run the ball with Marshawn Lynch on the 1 yard line.
Hey, and the Lions hired him. Hey, and
It's that simple.
that guy's the new Jacksonville Jaguars offensive coordinator. Urban Meyer just hired him. So what does that tell you about Urban?
That he likes to win.
I know. Before we go, I got a quick little great Tom Brady story for you. So when Tom Brady was playing at University of Michigan, I got to find this picture actually. I don't know if anyone remembers Drew Henson, but Drew Henson was the multi-athlete god.
The incumbent starter, really, right? They were splitting time 50-50.
Everyone loved Drew Henson this year. I was young. My cousins actually went to University of Michigan, so they took me to a game. So before the game, there's the little alleyway where all the players walk by, right? And everyone's calling for them, getting pictures, all this kind of stuff. All I wanted to do was meet Drew Henson because he was the next big thing. So Drew Henson comes over. I got a picture with Drew Henson, and in the background, just happening to be walking by, you see Tom Brady. So Tom Brady number 10. So it was like, screw you, Tom. I don't want to meet you, but I want to meet Drew freaking Henson. Oh, it's hilarious. So just my luck.
Now, Bono, question we have here. We've gone through a few Bono guarantees, but throw one out there that we haven't talked about.
So one of my Bonifero guarantees in this game is going to be, I know this is going to be a sexy pick, but if it is going to be a guarantee and people are going to do it, I want to make sure they're smart about it. It's going to be Tyreek Hill on the over for receiving yards. I believe last I saw it was at 97.5, I believe. I don't know if it's changed or the line's changed. But I think Tyreek Hill could potentially be the Super Bowl MVP. He's had that type of season. He's had that type of playoff. I can see him going off for 220 yards and 2 touchdowns in this game. So my lock guarantee is Tyreek Hill on the over.
Now, Ashton, give us the big figure lock for yours.
My lock is the Travis Kelce receptions. It's 8.5. He's going over. He's gonna see 15. He's gonna see 14, 15 targets. He's gonna catch 9, 10 balls. The lock of the Super Bowl is Kelce on the over for receptions.
Bono, you agree?
Oh, absolutely not. Because Tony Romo is the smartest football mind out there right now, it seems, and everybody seems to listen to Tony Romo. I guarantee you see at some point in this game the Tampa Bay Buccaneers throw a defensive end or throw somebody on Kelce, even if he's 5 yards outside the line of scrimmage, and they're going to jam him wherever he is on the field. I actually think it's going to go the other way. I truly think that the Bucs know they have to stop Kelce. If they can stop
If you don't think Travis Kelce can't get off a jam from a D end, you're insane.
Well, I'm saying he can.
Too.
He can, but it's gonna affect his timing. He runs those little out. The one thing that Kelce is amazing at, probably the best I've ever seen, is finding holes in zones, Ashton. It's unbelievable how he gets open 7 to 10 yards down the field. You play 2
safeties. You play 2 safeties. He's gonna find the seam, right? It's
every
simple.
Time. Yeah, every time. So I don't know.
They gotta play one safety high, basically man underneath, and they're gonna have to choose to double. They're gonna have to choose to double Tyreek or Kelce. It's one or the other, right? You double one of them, and the other one's gonna. So,
but there's something about the Tony Romo effect. There is, and I don't know what it is. I know it's ridiculous, but I do think you're going to see Kelce. I still think he's going to have 6 receptions, and maybe even a score. But I just think they find a way to limit him.
You can see that line. If people don't want to bet it yet, you can probably see that line move throughout the week, right? Because 8.5 is pretty high. If a bunch of people come in on that under, right, you might see that drop to 7.5. You know what I mean? Absolutely. You can see that line move. You can see that line move maybe midweek. So, but he's going to go over in his receptions.
So with like you say, instead of doing them all here, Tony and Ashton are going to answer another 20 Bono Young Super Bowl props at www.gamedaysportsnetwork.com. They'll be there probably by Monday by noon. They'll answer those, and we'll also have the replay. The other thing is we have somebody watching here who I have to put this out here. I don't know if anybody can see this T-shirt. It's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers T-shirt. It's done by my wife, KTL Designs. It says it's Trevor versus Kimberly's boyfriend Devin. Family battle. We choose Kim and Devin. My hubby and oldest son are cheering with Stacy and Trevor, and my parents each are cheering opposite teams. It should be fun. So I guess there's a family battle in the Hurdle household here in Sault Ste. Marie. So I guess this is to take a shot at the uncle. So he's going to be wearing this during the Super Bowl. So, and they are available to get, but like I say, it's a Tampa Bay shirt. So
yeah, I can't wait. So it's going to be good.
And to talk about Bono between pregame, halftime, and postgame, we are doing a show next week. Can you talk a little bit about that? And I think, Ashton, you're joining us too, aren't you?
I am. I'm not sure which one yet, though. We'll figure that out, but I will be there.
Yeah, we're going to have a pregame show. So we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk to some football minds throughout the city. We're going to bring in some football coaches. We're going to get a lot of predictions. Ashton, I want you on the pregame for sure, and probably the postgame if you're available. So yeah, we got, we really want to talk about the game, and we got a lot of people that are going to come on and kind of give their opinion just on the game, and we're going to take all sorts of different predictions. So it'll be fun. And then at halftime, looking at hopefully having a special guest or two. So kind of leave that one, leave a little bit of suspense there, and we'll wait and see if things come through. And the post-game show, just to recap, like we're going to have some more coaches, again, from the city here come on, potentially an ex-CFL player, a guy that I used to live with, so might come on, and we'll kind of go from there. So tune in. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a lot of different opinions, and see how things go.
And just so that people know, like I said, we haven't really set a time yet, but do we know approximate time we're going to do the pregame?
Yeah, for
When's
about
kickoff?
20 minutes pregame. So kickoff's at 6:05. If I'm usually around 6:05. So we'll do the pregame at 5:30.
That works.
And then let's say we watch the game, then halftime we'll just go live again, and then postgame we'll bring the show back again.
Yeah, because no one's going to want to watch the weekend, so they can come watch us instead.
Okay. So, Ashton, any last thoughts before we let you go until next week?
No, that's about all. I like those props. Look for the other props on the website. I'll probably send you something else with a little more details on the other props we're going to go with, possibly some alternative lines and everything like that. So if you want to post that, people can look at those. It'll be pretty interesting, as opposed to having 10 people message me over the next week asking me what I'm betting.
So, like I say, I'll post it again. The link down below is where we'll be at, along with the 21s we didn't discuss. And Bono, any last words?
No, I'm looking forward. Actually, thanks for doing this, man. It's just something I think we should look at every week in different sports. I think this is a pretty good format. And,
I'd love to do a college football show. I'd love to do a college football show.
I know, me too, man. But we can't tell. Goodness, you and I couldn't for that one though.
By the time all this is done, like I say, eventually for us, like I say, Truist Media wants a studio so where we can actually be sitting in the same room, and you can have drinks in your hand, but we won't have anything that you can throw at each other. That's all.
Works for me.
So, well, guys, thanks a lot for taking your time, and we'll talk next week.
Have a good one, boys.
Thanks, guys. Take care.